Well, I start my lessons by going over the daily learning targets, which are the students' I can statements for the day. And I incorporate the MTS SB lingo in there by saying I can sit ready to learn on the carpet while listening to a fiction story, or I can work responsibly at my desk while writing a retell. So that's one way that I embed the language into my lessons. I feel like the GER code really helps teachers positively reinforce students so that they continue doing the positive behavior that is wanted. When teachers really, reprimand students in a negative way, they shut down and they just refuse to work. So that the GER code language really helps them be more responsible for themselves. Students have really enjoyed taking that responsibility of themselves and doing what they're supposed to do because it's the right thing to do. And they've really learned to self-manage and use their metacognition to solve problems on their own in their behavior. They talk it out, they figure it out, they know how to be responsible, they know how to be ready to learn. It's rewarding because you see them just really becoming independent and doing all of those things on their own, and you don't have to sit there and fuss at them all day to sit down, to be quiet, to do their work, because they know what the expectations are because we've been going over it since day one. So when I say, let's follow the GER code, they get ready. They know exactly what is expected. I'm most proud of my students' automatic response to my attention cues. When I'm teaching whole group reading or writing and I ask them to turn and talk to a partner, as they're talking, I'll go around and listen, but when I'm ready for them to turn back towards the board, I will say GER code, and they say ready to learn, and they all turn back towards the board, they crisscross their legs, they put their hands in their lap, and they put a bubble in their mouth so they know exactly what ready to learn looks like. So it's just a great way of quickly getting their attention. I love active votes because it gives a chance for every student to answer whatever question I have on the board. I use it for them to answer comprehension questions after, reading a story. I use it for the brain pop videos. We do the quizzes afterwards, and they're great because it saves all the data. So everything they answer, I can go back and look at a later time, and I know which students are assigned to which numbers. And it's really beneficial for me to go back and collect that data and get that anecdotal note piece. As I use the active votes, they know that when they answer, they have a specific amount of time. I usually set it for 10 seconds if it's a longer question, so they know that they have to be responsible. Before we start our retell, we will get our brain break. Yes. Okay. I can sit ready to learn on the carpet while listening to a fiction story. Did we do that?
Yes.
Okay. You guys are now going to work on I can retell a story and include important details from the beginning, middle, and end. And then we're going to go to our desk and you're going to work responsibly while using a graphic organizer to retell. But I'm going to need, before we do that, you're going to get your active votes and we're going to talk about and see if you guys can answer some questions about the story. Okay? Let me see which color can get them quickly and quietly. Remember, I want you to be responsible and hold them like an egg because they're very expensive. We don't want to break them. Red and orange, please get your active votes and come back down to the carpet, ready to learn. Yellow. Thank you, Erin, for coming back quietly. Thank you, Connor, for coming back quietly. Blue and purple may go get theirs. Green may go get theirs. Thank you for walking. Okay. Right.
choosing a different spot. Okay. All right, so the first question. This story is mostly about A, a dog that was afraid of painters, B, a chase to catch a runaway dog, or C, painting a house. What was the story mostly about? Mostly about. We can see that most people answered what? B. Okay. If we look at our graph, we can see that between 8 and 10, we know the number is 9. So 9 people answered B, saying that the story was mostly about a chase to catch a runaway dog. Okay. Our other answer choices were a dog that was afraid of painters. Now, was the whole story about a dog that was afraid of painters?
No.
Was it, okay, let's look at C. Was it about painting a house, the whole story?
No.
No. So I think our best answer was B. So if you chose B, you were correct.